Hey YouTubers, my name is Andrea René and welcome to my channel Andrea René Abroad, where I talk about Peace Corps, travel, and working abroad. I'm a returned Peace Corps volunteer who served in Nicaragua from August of 2016 to April of 2018. I've been back in the United States for a few months now, and I am now getting ready for my next journey, which will be taking me to Melbourne, Australia in about a week and a half to work as an au pair for a family with 3 young children. And I'm very excited to be starting that new adventure. I will be Instagramming the whole time, so definitely check out my Instagram at Andrea René Abroad, and also be sure to check out my Facebook page if you haven't already. So lots of exciting things coming up. My YouTube channel is of course a how-to channel to help you all start your own amazing life abroad. So I thought I would make a video today about how to become an au pair. Super simple process. It's totally doable. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. So here we are at the website that I used to apply to become an au pair, and it is just called aupairworld.com. It's completely free and it's super easy to use. So what you want to do when you're first going to apply to be an au pair, and of course you can check out, their website in general, but once you have decided that you are ready to become an au pair, what you're going to want to do is go to this part that says for au pairs, and then you're going to register as an au pair. So let's go ahead and click that, and we'll look at what this application process looks like. So basically, I won't be able to go through all the steps because I already have an account, but I'm just going to show you what the first page of the account looks like. So they'll need your first and last name, your date of birth so they know how old you are, and also your gender. Now, because we're talking about gender, I just do want to specify that just because you are a boy does not mean you cannot become an au pair. There are plenty of young men who become au pairs and have an amazing experience. I think a lot of times we assume, childcare is for women only, but that is not the case with aupairworld.com. There are definitely many families out there that are more interested in hiring a male au pair as opposed to a female au pair. So if you are a male watching this video, yes, you can become an au pair as well. So that's your first about you information, and then you need your contact details because of course they need to know that you are a real human being. So that just entails your email address, where you live, and then also a phone number. Being an au pair is really popular for people who are backpacking all over the world and they're looking for a way to make money along the way. So if you are backpacking and you're running low on money, you can definitely apply to be an au pair. The shortest terms of au pair assignments are 3 months, so do keep that in mind. So when it says which country are you currently living in, maybe you are from the United States, but you're backpacking somewhere else. But you can see that nationality is different. So you might be living, for example, let's say I applied while I was in Peace Corps. I could say, oh, I'm living in Nicaragua, but I am American, for example. So that is an option. Now here are some key questions as well. It says, do you have childcare experience? Yes or no. Do you have a valid driver's license? Yes or no. Do you smoke? Yes or no. The next section is language skills. So you would just fill out which languages that you speak fluently or very well. So in my case, that was English and Spanish. And then basic knowledge of. Different au pair families are really looking for someone to be able to bring a new language so that they can increase the bilingualism or multilingualism of their children. And then just normal things, password, security questions, and then do you agree to their terms of service? So at that point you would click continue, and you would continue to fill out your own application. So once you already have an au pair account, this is what the basic page inside of aupairworld.com looks like. So we're gonna go ahead and look at my profile. Let's go ahead and look at what the au pair profile page looks like and talk about each section of this. Now, in many ways, this is kind of like a LinkedIn page specifically for au pairs. So what families will do is they'll have a search engine and they'll be looking for specific people to match their interests. So what kind of au pair do they want? Then you would show up in the search engine of someone who is particularly interested, let's say, in your nationality or the languages you speak or your general age. So the first section is, just basic information. It has my name, my nationality, my languages that I speak, and how long I'm interested in staying. Now, this next section I'm going to scroll down to this is the part that will be really, really important in your application. So there's a Dear Family section. So in the Dear Family section, you're basically just giving your basic stats. So, you know, what sort of work are you currently doing and what is your education level? And then I also reiterated the amount of time that I was interested in staying. The next section is called About Me. In this section, you can talk about your own family. You're going to be working in a family environment setting. So most au pair families want to know that you have a good relationship with your own family first. And then in the About Me section, you also want to talk about your past experience with childcare. And then I also talked about my experience with living with a Nicaraguan host family, and that I have had the experience of living with a host family before and am very comfortable with it. So if any of you have studied abroad already and have experienced living with a host family, I would definitely include that in your au pair application. And then the last section of your basic profile is, why do you want to be an au pair? And then let's go ahead and look at this related information box. So if you remember back to the first page when I was showing you what the application page looks like, there were a few different things that were being checked. So first you need to say whether or not you yourself are a smoker, and then willing to work for a host family who smokes. So for me, those are both no. Do you have your driver's license? Willing to help with housework, childcare experience, willing to work with a child with special needs, willing to work for a single parent. So you just need to answer yes or no to those basic stats. And I would say be honest. Like if you are really wanting to be, for example, in a two-parent household and you're not really interested in working with just a single parent, be honest about that. Also, obviously be honest about your driver's license. And I would say with the driver's license thing, maybe you have your driver's license, but you are uncomfortable with the idea of driving in another country. Be honest with that during the interview process. I don't think that's something you need to put on the page per se, but you do need to be honest with that about the potential families that you are interviewing with. So the next section would be, what are you searching for? So that's right over here. And so, I said I was searching for a host family in Australia. I don't mind whether it be in a big city, a small town, or in the country. So I was available to any of those three. And then what age are you looking for the children? And the last part that you want to do is include photos, because again, that helps them realize that you are a real person. It puts a little bit of humanity into your application. So I mostly just put photos from my time as a Peace Corps volunteer, just to show them a little bit of what I've been doing. That's the basics of what your application page will look like when you apply to be an au pair. Families will be able to look at your page and then decide whether or not they're interested in working with you as an au pair. Now, I won't click on this next box just because it's the family names of all the families that I was interviewing with, but basically you'll be able to click your message board and you will be able to message all the families back and forth. I had my email notifications turned on so that I knew when I needed to go and check my aupairworld.com message board, and then pretty much fairly quickly you can switch to either WhatsApp or Skype or just plain old email, and that is generally what families prefer to do, is they'll transition into that. I think I was able to find a host family within the span of 2 weeks, so that was very, very easy. So if you are interested in being an au pair, it is more than doable. It is super easy. I really recommend to use this website, aupairworld.com. Again, it is free. It is super easy to use. I had a very easy and simple application experience with it. In next week's video, I'm going to be discussing how to apply for your Australian work holiday visa, otherwise known as the 462 visa. If you are particularly interested in becoming an au pair in Australia, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you all next week.